Hello, Burley Glenwood boys and girls. Welcome back to my kitchen. We are going to explore more in topic 15 about units of capacity. So I am going to share my screen. Hopefully you've had a chance to pull up your digital version of your Daily Common Core. Okay, number one, I'm going to make myself a little bigger here because I have some stuff I'm going to show you in a little while. So number one, estimation. Remember, that's kind of like a guess. What is the best estimate for the capacity? That means how much something holds of a gas tank in a car. So when your parents go to the store and fill up their car with gas, they don't usually do it in the metric system with milliliters or liters. They fill it up with gallons. So this is shifting our thinking a little bit. So A is 4 milliliters. That would be 1 spoon. 45 milliliters, that would be 40, well, this is 5, so that would be 9 of these spoons. 4 liters, that would be 4 of these. 45 liters, that would be 45 of these. So you have to decide which would be the best estimate for putting a bunch of gas in the car. Number 2, Louise bought 4 packages of hot dogs. There are 10 hot dogs in each package. If hot dog buns come in packages of 8, how many packages does Louise have to buy in order to have enough hot dog buns? Or have enough okay, let's try that again. How many packages does Louise have to buy to have enough for each hot dog? So first thing we're going to do is figure out how many total hot dogs she has. So remember, I give you a workspace over here for a reason, not just because I like to type it. So I'm going to stretch my box a little bit. So I am figuring out how many hot dogs she has total. So 4 packages times 10 dogs per package equals, and I'm not going to give you that. You can do that. Now on the next one, it says hot dogs buns come in packages of 8. So you're going to take whatever number you got there. I think I'll color code it in a second. And I did not pre-insert the division sign, so I'm going to use the slash. Divided by, now I'm going to put in my 8, equals some number. Where'd my underline thing go? There we go. So whatever you get here also wants to go right here. So you're using that number again. Okay. And it will be one of these when you're done. Number 3, the shaded part of the circle represents, that means stands for, the part of Mario's vacation that was set. So first find your denominator, that's your bottom number in the fraction. Count how many slices are in that pie graph. Then it says sunny is the shaded part. So count up the total number that are shaded. That's going to be your numerator or your top number in a fraction. And in a moment, you're going to see Brian. He's coming to get some of the amazing cake that he made. Okay, number 4. How many milliliters are in 1 liter? And underneath my little photo, I have a little hint for you. If you don't know, you could Google it, or you could think about yesterday's math lesson. If you have an iPhone, you could ask Siri. I pulled out my iPhone when I was making this thing and I said, hey Siri, how many milliliters are in 1 liter? And she told me. So that's a strategy you can use. You want to show off your cake, Brian? Okay, number 5. What are the missing numbers in the pattern below? 12, 21, 30, 39. Oh, cake abuse, you dropped some. So as we notice, it's getting larger, but you have to figure out how much is it getting larger by. Personally, I would look at these 2. Those are the easiest 2 to see the pattern with. Figure out how much did it increase by, and then add that same amount to 39. Then whatever you get, add that same amount to that number. Okay, number 6. Rick is painting one of the walls in his shed. The shaded part of the figure represents the part of the wall that needs painting. It's Miss Hattlestep. Oopsie. I'll get back to you when I'm done recording a math lesson. I'll get back to you when I'm done recording the math lesson. Okay, so let's look at that again. The shaded part of the figure represents the part of the wall that needs painting. So each of these little squares represents 1 square foot. You taking some to Grandma? So you could touch and count. Remember, you're just doing the shaded part. Keep track of which ones you count because it's easy to count them twice on accident. The other strategy you could use, which we learned in our last unit, was find the area of the whole shape, length times width, then find the area of this part, length times width, then subtract the 2. So it gave you 2 different strategies you could use to do that one. King Charlemagne was 72 years old when he died. He was born in 1742. What year did he die? I do want you to show your work. Otherwise, for all I know, you whipped out a calculator. So 742, enter, minus 72. Okay, now you notice it's not lined up right. I'm going to go up here to the top, my align tool, and I'm going to tell it that I want it to align on the right side. Okay, so you can notice, oh, 2 take away 2 is 0, my hero. And now I can't do 4 take away 7, but I can do, grab me a piece of cake. See, I can do 14 take away 7. No, my son's a good cook. Don't forget that you borrowed from that 7 and it's now a 6. Okay, you're a good baker. Okay, let's go watch the video. So I need to enable the sound. Otherwise, it's all garbled and yucky.
How do you measure capacity? Think about this question during the lesson. A marked 1-liter container can be used to measure capacity. What is the capacity of the fishbowl? Pour from the filled fishbowl into the 1-liter container. How does the 1-liter container help you find the capacity of the fishbowl? The total amount of water stays the same, so a marked container can show the measurement. The 1-liter container is full. Does that mean the capacity of the fishbowl is 1 liter?
You'll notice the fishbowl still has a lot of water in it, and we still have to measure that portion.
No, the fishbowl still has water inside. How much of the water has been removed?
So far, 1 liter has been removed.
1 liter. Empty the container and continue pouring until the fishbowl is empty. Two liters. 3 liters. 4 liters. 5 liters. The 1-liter container was filled 5 times. What is the capacity of the fishbowl? The capacity of the fishbowl is 5 liters.
sent my daughter out to get dog beds. So on to our workspace mat. If you don't have that up yet, please pull that up. Okay, I need to zoom way in. So on this particular thing, you have the option of finding your own items to measure. Just make sure you ask your parents' permission before you go rifling through things in the kitchen, because I don't want parents upset that you did something you weren't supposed to do. So I'm going to move my thingy up here. Wish I could make, ooh, whoopsie, didn't mean to do that. Let's go back to 100%. So find 6 containers. So I'm going to show you the containers that I rifled. We'll see how good the video goes. So I have a little itty bitty mug. I have another little antique jar that came out of my mom's medical jar stash. Now, this one's got kind of a funny story. It's a milk of magnesia bottle. It's an antique bottle that was in a garbage heap in my backyard where I used to live. So before people would take stuff to like the regular dump, they used to just dump it in their backyard. And so this is from probably the 1930s. Okay. This is something a student gave me named Isabel. I think there was candy from Valentine's Day in it. And then I'm going to show you this one just because it's cute, but I'm not going to use it because I have 7 things instead of 6. So this is a cute little cup of Brianna's, but I'm not going to use it. But I am going to use this guy. It's one of my vases. And then if you have me for your homeroom teacher, you've seen one of these before. This is a Sour Punch container. And then here, we had this out earlier. Only I've put more water in it because we're going to need plenty of water. And remember, that holds a lot, but I'm not measuring that. That's just going to be my source of water. So my first object is going to be that little mini mug. Whoopsie. Yeah, I didn't mean to zoom in. So, mini mug. Okay, I need to make a guess. This thing's not very big. This tablespoon holds 15 milliliters. I'm going to guess that that little guy I'm going to guess 20 milliliters. Milliliters. So I'm going to guess 20 milliliters. We're going to come back later and we're actually going to measure things and we'll see how good my guess was. Okay, my next container, we're going to call that one small clear bottle. Okay. Small clear bottle. No, it's not actually a perfume bottle. I don't know what it once held. So small, clear bottle. And I'm going to guess that it's going to hold 40. There's some markings on the side, but I'm trying to ignore those and just make a guess. Okay, this, my antique milk of magnesia thing, it was made in the USA. I think I'm going to guess like 100 milliliters. We're going to call it blue bottle because I don't want to try to type the other thing. And Brian's getting ice. Hopefully he'll try to do it a little quieter. Okay, then we have, oh, this is housewares on the bottom. So we'll just call it clear jar. Okay, I think that's probably going to hold like 200. That's my guess. This one was made in China. Okay, now I got stuff that's bigger. And when I fill this one, I'm going to fill it close to the rim. That means the very top. And remember, this is a liter.
Milliliters.
So I think it's probably going to hold 1.5 liters. So I'm going to call it a vase. 1.5 is the same as 1.5. So I'm going to call it 1.5 and then capital L for liter. Now I have my big container of sour punch things. And it's quite a bit bigger. This whole thing fits down in it. So I'm going to ignore the writing I have on the back from last year, and I'm going to guess. Most kids usually guess 3. So I'm going to guess 3 on that. Yeah, see what the back says. Don't be naughty, Brian. Okay, so we're going to call that sour punch container. I'm going to abbreviate that CONT because I know you guys don't like typing much more than I do. Okay, and I said my estimation for that was going to be 3 liters. Okay, now we're actually going to measure these things. So we're going to start with the mini mug. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay, we're going to start with the mini mug. We know it's going to be milliliters, so I'm just going to start with that. Thanks, Brian. Okay, I have a little measuring guy that I'm going to use to do the mini one. And it goes up to 60. So I'm going to fill it to 60, and then we're going to subtract and find the difference. Almost there. Almost there. Oh, too much. There we go. Okay, so I filled it to 60, and now I'm going to pour it in here, hopefully without making a huge mess. Yeah, not on my computer. Okay, so I started at 60, and now it's at 40. So it held 20. What was it? Oh, my guess was right on. Yay. That's pretty cool. I like it when I'm right. Okay, so that one held 20. Now the other one, the small clear bottle, I guessed 40. Well, I just happen to have 40 left in here. So let me go grab that and we'll see. Okay, I'm holding it in a spot where you guys can see it. Whoa. Don't turn the oven on. Ooh, all the way to the lip. So I got it all the way to the lip, and I have 5 left in there. So 40 take away 5. Oh, that's pretty close. Brian, be quiet. Okay, so this guy all the way to the top held 35 milliliters. That was a pretty close guess. I don't think the thing on the side's very accurate. Okay. Blue bottle. So I need to refill this. Well, maybe I'll use this. Okay, so my guess on this one was 100. I'm going to fill this to 200, and then we'll pour in and see what happens. So remember, if you're doing this, it's a good idea to do it outside so you don't make a huge mess in your family's kitchen. Okay, got it to 200. Okay, so now we're going to fill this guy up. So I'm going to try to go all the way to the brim like I did on the last one. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, so remember I had 200 in the measuring cup. I now have, hold it still, 50, I have 60 left in there. So 200 take away 60 is going to be 140. So I was not as close in my guess on that one. Okay. Alrighty, so now it's time for this guy. Knowing that that guy held 140, I think my guess of 200 is probably off. So I'm going to fill this up to 400 this time. There we go. Okay, hopefully I will not make a huge mess. Okay, I'm not going to go anymore or I will make a big mess, but I got that one pretty full. So I started with 400. I now have, oh, I have 100 left. So 400 take away 100 is 300. So I was pretty far off in my estimate. Okay, now for the vase, I'm not going to waste my time 500 at a time. I'm going to jump on over to this guy that holds a whole liter. Okay, let me turn and make sure I'm lined up right. Oh, close. There we go. Okay, measuring carefully. Let's see. Oh, don't spill it this time. Oh. Okay, there's 1 liter. My guess of 1.5 liters might be pretty good. So I'm going to set this down. I'm going to get more water. I think on this one, I'm going to switch over to this guy. He's more accurate. Okay, so here, there's 500 in this. Oh, way up to the top. Do not try this at all. Okay. Set that down now. See if I can get it all the way to the top. Ooh. Let's try a couple more drips. It didn't spill. It's going to spill when I clean it up, though. So I got the full 1.5 liters in there. I'm pretty excited about that. So I'm going to show you not only how to do it as, whoopsie, I want backspace. I don't know what I'm doing there. So we're going to have 1.5 liters and then equal sign. That is equal to 1,500 milliliters. There we go. Okay, so we know this was 1.5. So I'm going to pour that into here. Yeah, don't laugh at me. Make a little bit of a mess, but not bad. Okay, so that was 1.5. Now I'm going to do one of these, that way I can get it to 2. Now I'm at 2 liters. That was 3. There's 4. There's 5. How brave am I? Okay, I'm gonna get this guy out. We're gonna see if we can get another half a liter in there. You ready? Hopefully Mrs. Mears will not make a very bad mess. I did it! Yay! So that was 5.5 liters. That was a lot of liquid. So I am going to copy paste this and then just change it to suit my needs. So Control C, Control V. So it was 5.5, which is then going to equal 5,500 milliliters. So that would not be very efficient to fill it using a teaspoon. So much better to use a good tool and fill it with a good tool. Okay, now on to our next page. So what is the total capacity represented in each picture? I'm going to zoom in so we can see that better. Let's go to 200%. So as we look closely, we notice this is 1 liter, 2 liter, 3 liter, 4 liters. So it is 4 liters. Now I want to do times 1,000 to figure out the milliliters. So that's going to be 4,000, and I need to stretch that, I didn't make it big enough, milliliters. So if you need to pause the video and get caught up, please do so. Because there's 1,000 milliliters in every liter. The prefix milli means 1,000. There were 4 liters in the picture. Okay, number 2, we have 1 full liter, and then 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. So we're going to do this part first. We're going to do the milliliters first. So we have 1,000, oops, I don't need a space there, 600 milliliters. Now, if we look back at our thing from before, $4,000 was 4. So 1,600 is going to be 1.6 liters. So if you need to pause the video to get your typing done, please do so. Okay, number 3, while I shove some cake in my mouth. Find a container you think holds less than a liter and another you think holds more than a liter. Use a marked liter container to measure the capacity of each. Let's just use what we already did. So I found, I'm going to put the mini mug. I thought it would be less than a liter. It actually was, I don't remember, so I got to go back and look, but it was pretty small. I think it was 20. Yep, it was 20 because my estimate was the same as the real answer. I was pretty excited about that. Okay, it was actually, so that was 20 ml. Remember, ml stands for milliliter. Okay, now what was something that we thought would hold more? It's your choice whether you put down the vase, and if you go with the vase, remember it was 1.5, or if you go with the sour punch container. Remember the sour punch container was 5.5 or 5.5 liters. So I'll know you didn't watch the video if you don't fill out that one, because that'll be pretty clear to me. Okay, number 4, what is the capacity of 2 mugs like the one in the other example? So here's from the other example, the capacity of the mug is 300 milliliters. So one of them is 300. So what would 2 of them be? You can either do 300 times 2, or you can do 300 plus 300. And I'm not going to do that one because you can do that in your head. Okay, scrolling back up to the top. So if you stop at a half hour, this is your stopping point. If you're like, no, I'm just going to get her done, then keep going with me. Okay, am I all the way at the top? I think I am. So number 5, look really close at the picture. We have 1 full one, and then to right here is 500. So 600, 700, 800. So we have 1,800 milliliters, and that is equal to 1.8 liters. If you need to pause the video and get caught up with that, please do. And that'll give me a chance to shove some more cake in my face. I am definitely going to want to ride the exercise bike later. Thank you, Brian. Okay, now on this one, they're full up to the top. So 1 liter, 2 liter, 3 liters. And now remember, we're going to multiply by 1,000. So 3 times 1,000 is, if I can get my mouser to work. So 3,000. And that little thing is a comma. It's not a period. Okay, on this one, we have 2 full ones. So that's 1 liter, 2 liter, and then 100, 200, 300, 400. It's not quite to the 500. So we have 2,000. I think we said 400. So 2,400 milliliters equal to 2.4 liters. So it was 2 full ones and 4/10 of another one. Okay, now we're going to scroll down if I can find my scroller. Hello, scroll down. Okay, be grumpy. I think I need to move myself out of the way. Technical difficulties. There we go. And Brian's back for more cake. It's really good. It's rhubarb. Fresh from the garden today. Lawrence received a gift basket with a 200. Is it in the water? Sugar in the water. Sugar water. 200 milliliter jar of grape jam. And a 350 milliliter jar of strawberry jam. How much jam did he receive in all? Yeah, it's going to keep him eating jam for a while. Hopefully he likes it. So we have 200 plus 350 equals, and you can do that. I'm not solving that for you. Yeah, don't give them the answer. Well, don't do that either. Okay, let's see. I think we've got Emma here. Hi, Emma. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Emma poured 750 milliliters of gravy into a 1-liter container. If she wants to fill the container, how much more gravy does she need? Explain. And I want to do a shout out to Reese because something Reese has been doing, which I just think is the coolest thing. It's like the bee's knees. I'm going to show you what she's been doing. She has been finding a way to highlight. So she's been doing stuff like this. And I am so impressed by that because I did not say you had to. She just went and did it. And I think that's super cool. So I need to set this up as a subtraction problem. Oopsie. So 750. So we have 750, and I don't remember what the other number was. Oh, it was a liter. So remember, a liter is 1,000. So I need 1,000. It's not backspace. Take away. Oopsie. I hate it when it does that. And then where's my line it up be? There's my line it up be. So you can subtract that. So where's my text? And don't worry, you're not the only one that has technical difficulties from time to time. I can't get my little cursor to show up there. Come on. There we go. Oh, it's doing that. Okay. I knew I needed to learn how to spell. I knew I needed to subtract. And now Bree's over here for some of that amazing cake. Everybody say hi to Bree. Okay, let's go check out number 10. Which measurement is not, so we're looking for the false item, a reasonable capacity for a bathroom sink? Remember our lovely Sour Punch thing was 5.5. So do you think a bathroom sink could hold 3 of these? I think this one. This one was 300. Is that reasonable for a sink? 10 liters, 500 milliliters. Would it be reasonable for 2 of these for a bathroom sink? 12 liters. That would be between 2 of these and 3 of these. So one of them, it might be the bathroom sink for a mouse, but not a human. Okay, number 11. Let's go check out number 11. Let's do that so we can see my face. Use the picture of the water jugs and find the amount of water the team drank during the soccer practice. So before soccer practice, there was 15 liters in the water jug. After practice, we noticed 5, 6, 7, 8. You want to do 15, take away 8. And I don't know if I gave you a text box or not. Oh, I did. So 15 take away 8 equals the number, and then write liters. I think we have 1. Oh, that might be it. Oh no, here we go. So how many 2-liter cartons can be filled with 18 liters of juice? This one is like a fact family. So 2 times what equals 18. So blank 2-liter cartons Did I spell that right? Oh no, it's got an O. Will be filled by 18 liters of juice. There we go. So pause the video, solve that one. And whatever you have in this blank for the fact family needs to go in this blank. And it's not 3 digits. It's just, that's what the font does. Okay, pause, catch up. I'll meet you at the digital quick check. Which object is most likely to have a capacity of 160 liters? 160 of these. Bathroom sink, bucket, juice box, or bathtub. 160 of these. What is the total capacity represented by the picture or in the picture? So you'll notice we have a full one, a full one. Now we're going to start at 500 and we're going to count by hundreds. So 500. Stop. Okay. So there's some that you can get rid of because they have too many whole numbers. So that narrows it down to 2 choices. Okay, Lucy filled a drinking glass and then emptied it into the marked liter container pictured. What is the capacity of 3 of those same size drinking glasses? So you want to take 3 and multiply it by, each of these marks represents 100. So 100, multiply the 3 times that number. Oh, Ruth, be quiet. Okay, what would most likely be the capacity of a pasta pot? So remember this was 20. So could you boil pasta in 5? 250. This one was 300. Could you boil pasta in that much water? Now you have some choices. I don't think this one's quite 5, but this one's probably close to 1. Which do you think, if you were to make pasta, that you would use? So I'm going to show you another one, and that's one that we make macaroni and cheese in. This one's our macaroni and cheese. Mrs. Mears juggle pots. Okay, so we have 3 different sizes here. This one we use for macaroni and cheese. This one's probably 1. This is probably the one that I have that's closest to 5. That was noisy. Denise has a vase, well, that's a good size vase, that holds 650 milliliters of water. She has a second vase that holds 400. How much water do the 2 vases hold in all? Stack them and add them. And that's it for math for today. And my shirt's all wet from playing in water, so I'm hoping that's going to dry. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you followed along with the video, because if you didn't, this math would be like confusing. but those of you that did, great job. And have a lovely afternoon. I hope you get to play outside, maybe play with some containers and see what capacity really looks like in the real world.